Hi Aquarius. This is your Libra season reading, October 2024. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version of this reading, which will be in the first link below. Meditations will be out soon. They'll be in depth just for the season, more things to come. So if you're curious about that, first places to look would be Patreon and YouTube, and cards have fallen out, so let's get into your reading. The Five of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Now I do have notes for you, but mainly it's this preparation for Pluto. Everyone's being guided to an extent to focus on the day-to-day, the daily wins in life. And for you, what may be and what may have been a win, or what may have been important to you, or what's showing up as important to you, there's Pluto coming right away, coming out, is that the direction forward, it's not without loss. We have death here, and we have the High Priestess. This is a very spiritual time. We have loss. And usually at a time where there is a loss, whether it's physical or you're leaving behind an old place that you didn't necessarily hate, right? It's like, even if you don't necessarily, like, hate's a strong word too, necessarily like a place or a people, there's still a grieving period. There's still a change. You grew, or you became someone different in order to, like, move on, or you rose to the occasion, or you continue to show your progress, or whatever it was for you to move forward in the way that you are. For Aquarius risings, this is about, like, your change in perception. Your change in how you see the world, how you move in the world, especially. Regardless, sun or rising, something I wonder about you. There's a few sides to you, and one of the sides and one of the parts of you, I think the majority of it, which gives you so much positive, there's like pros and cons to this, and which is to everything, right? And here we are in the weighing of it all this month. But the thing about the way that you think, sometimes there's this notion that if everything is in this fixed way, or if there's a way for things to be, if you're a perfectionist, perfect, for your dream life, or what you imagine being in a relationship looks like, or your line of work or career, excuse me. What's becoming very apparent is that highly intuitive you are, very successful with that intuition as well. This is the understanding and the realization as you move forward that you may be questioning, because questions could be a realization in themselves, is that there are times where we know that things shift, our emotions change, or things are shifting around us and we feel okay. But then there are times when something's happening, we've been through it before in another way, but we don't feel the same way that we once did. We don't experience that change in the same way. It could be more or less, right? It could be different. You could be different. And what is fleeting is emotions. There are times where things will feel like the dream that you are looking for, the view of life that you're ultimately looking for. Just want to get a little comfier here. And the thing here is that, and this is like by twos here too, the thing is that you're recognizing is every moment is different. Every time you experience those things, It's possibly that you're leaving behind a life. You're leaving behind, you're getting to the end of this cycle and the start of a new one, right? The start of not only you seeing and feeling life in a very intuitive way and having to understand like what happens when, for Aquarius risings, even suns, Pluto moves into this part of your life, right? For those of you with Aquarius risings, it's been moving through your 12th house for so long. So more than most, you have realization after realization, but like how do you put it all into play? Well, you put one thing into play and they're all just connections of each other, but that's something we forget in the midst of it all, right? That's sometimes what we forget. So taking a step back or sitting with yourself and witnessing and giving yourself time. Sorry, now I feel a hair on me somewhere. Yep. Time to witness, time to see the structure, give thanks to the structure, give thanks to this part of you that has got you so far, and now you're safe enough to experience something different, but of course, like with its own set of challenges. The main thing here is your worth and your ability to look at all these queens show up. Those trying to question your abilities, your capabilities, your worth, your transactions, anyone coming up against your boundaries at this point is just asking how you handle this. How do you want to handle this? What is for your best interest? Where have you missed an opportunity for luck because you decided to treat someone as equally as they treated you? When has that actually given you strength, right? Is this a moment to prove yourself, or is this a moment to let people think what they want, feel how they want, and you know yourself? Why do I say this? Having the Queen of Wands first and the Pentacles and the Queen of Cups before these even come up is that I'm going to put you here. This is either the parts of you or people showing up in your life, testing your worth, testing your emotional, and it's all about where your mind is at. Mercury's in Libra. It's Libra season. This is the season of how you think, how this, not only is Jupiter in retrograde as well, but it's also asking you how you think and what you value. This is the small moments, the small actions, the small thoughts, the small things that at times can feel smaller than they are, but these are the moments of the day-to-day that add up to the bigger. This is you combating anything that is making you feel like you've only done things or got things because of the way people treat you, feel about you. Sometimes all of this restraint that you can... I've been thinking about luck a lot, and the restraint means something. The restraint, and I'm putting them down because sometimes seeing them and giving me a moment will help things become even clearer. And then we'll take a look at the bottom too, because I'm curious about these queens. We're definitely going to get into these queens and this you coming up against your ability to remain centered and within yourself regardless of how others treat you. Now, these people could be treating you a certain way. They could be feeling defensive about how good you feel and how powerful you feel in this moment, being who you are, having stepped through this very personal moment in your life. It's this unseen that becomes seen eventually. You have to trust that whatever you're saying, whatever you're doing is developing in the way that it's meant to at this time. Once November comes, there will be a change. You know, once Pluto finally shifts, you'll start to, you see it, but you'll start to see it differently. You'll start to understand that you've been preparing and basically harboring luck, right? There have been times where maybe you have felt unlucky, where things have happened, but how did you engage with those moments? Like, how did you let them affect you emotionally? Did they sway how you feel about yourself, right? Money, emotional, right? It's about getting things and understanding where your mental is at and what affects you mentally. It's a great thing to be triggered. If you are, it's a great thing to know where you need to grow stronger in your life so that you can handle things with more ease. Your career too. Aquarius risings, Venus is in your career section of your life, and you may be in the midst of moving into a different direction or changing or seeing how what you're experiencing and what the rebirth you're experiencing in this place is bringing you towards. You're ready to close out a chapter and reveal who it is that you are. You may want to put your intuition into your work somehow. And that's how you make it unique, regardless of what industry or what it is that you do. There's this deep set intuition that you have been working with for years. This is for Aquarius sun, moon, rising. And if you, all in different levels and degrees though of this, you really can just know and feel regardless, and feel so strong in what you know and feel at this time. The only way these people can affect this change that you're going through, one, it could be a test, and why be thankful to be triggered? Why be thankful for these tests? Well, what can be hard to come back to, but in really spiritual moments when you know this is about you and you're moving through this is where you're alone in life, right? You're not alone. You have support. And if you don't, learning to reach out to support at this time could be helpful just for your own space and safe space. Like who do you find safety with, right? Who can you be yourself around in a way that that person's not asking any more of you? Those are, of course, your favorite people, and vice versa. But this month, those people that you don't realize you put weight in their opinion or theirs and yours, air sign things may come up. Aquarius in Libra season. You may not know, but they come up now for you to think differently, for you to realize like, oh, I don't need to put so much weight in this person's opinion. I don't need to, why do I feel defensive? Why do I care what this person thinks or how they view me or what they're seeing? I can understand that sometimes things happen. And I want you to pay attention. I've been thinking about you and luck. You know, how do you spend your lucky feelings? How do you spend those times that you feel lucky? Are you looking for someone else to feel the same way? Are you looking to share it? How do you utilize that in which you feel? Any times this month where you feel that spurt, use it towards your creativity. Put it back into you in a way that gives you energy, pleasure, romance, in ways that, if those are the ways that are giving back to you at this time, children, animals, doesn't matter. That's how you may want to share your luck at this time, because I don't even want to go here. Right now I'm going to pull. Ooh, well, we're just going to take this one. Here you go. Your creative energy, your luck, I would say romance. Aquarius rising, 7th house is Leo. So, but then it's also Gemini, so the 5th house, or 6th house, sorry. 6th house, no, 5th house. I knew it. Forgive me. Numbers and my brain Some people are way better at it, like Cancers, and you guys, I'm not as good at it. You understand. You're the one that helped correct me. Love it. So you're becoming very aware of the light that you bring and the light that shows up for you, like your own light for yourself. And it can be hard and harsh, but that's how you show up. Remember, like, or how bright it can be sometimes, and why, like, the star card is you, like the stars light up the night sky. What's being lit up for you to see and embrace about yourself in a way that doesn't have to be avoided to the point where it comes out in a way that isn't helpful, right? That's how addressing the situation, and where you need to just draw the line, right? Whether someone hears it or not, you're doing it for yourself. That's it. You're doing it for yourself. You also may be a voice of reason for people right now, and you may not always want to be. You know, people want to absorb what you have to offer, and they're seeing this transformation you're going through, but this transformation is also about the power of your intuition. How far it goes, how deep it goes, how wide it goes, where you'll let it go. You know, where you can feel and sense and start to nurture those seeds, and where connections can be really important, and the connections you're making in your mind, and being around people who maybe talking to people who have a difference of opinion, or talking to people who again, you have that, you don't feel drained when you leave them, noticing how you're feeling around people, and if they're showing you facades and what they could be mirroring, or what they're teaching you to, like, leave behind, where in your career it's just like, you know, you see how great it is, but you know that even you can feel the change coming, because you realize, like, you can't look at things long life. You can't, it's just not, it's time not to care enough. Your intuition's guiding you somewhere else. That uniqueness, doesn't matter where it is. Maybe it's at the same spot, maybe you completely shift gears, but you feel this maybe exhaustion of being someone that you're not perhaps anymore, and you don't feel connected. So this identity, first for Aquarius risings, this first house change, how it will shift your partnership. It looks like it will open up a lot of light, love, attention, all of that. All of that. Okay. We're going to talk more about how experience a grievance, even though what you had was great, but how it's transformed your life and made you trust yourself more, for sure. We're going to get into that. The day-to-day, we're going to get into also that fixed way of thinking, and maybe how that's transforming. Like, you actually kind of dig the difference, that maybe, like, putting the control there and knowing, like, how you show up every day is how you'll assess it day to day at this point. Just to be fair to yourself, authentic to yourself, honest with yourself, because some words will come out, and some answers, people may be coming to you for answers, and you want to be giving them the best that you can that day. It will look different every day. That's just life. And harnessing that energy will be better for your luck, for your romance, for your relationship, for yourself, you know? I know it will be like a different move, but from 12th house to 1st house shift, it would be like it's a long-term thing, but right away, you know, you may, next month we'll talk about it more. Sorry, we'll get more into it into the next part too. All the information is below, Aquarius. I know it can be vulnerable to really make make such a shift. But what better time to experience pain, deep, maybe some deep pain, while also healing and being in a beautiful space, held in this time where you're preparing for what's to come. And if this is already happening now, well, what's to come, you know, must have something waiting for you on the other side. Okay. Just a feeling. Just a feeling. We'll see you in the next part. All information is below, Aquarius. I hope you have a lovely Libra season.